Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be doing Merlin-like tricks of 2019, which includes origami with your hands. So stay tuned to hear my thoughts. Cue the intro. Hey guys, how's it going? Good to see you. I'm in a very happy mood today because I am talking about a movie that I actually really liked, which is A Kid Who Would Be King. Now, let me tell you, I am a huge fan of the Arthurian legends, like The Sword and the Stone was my shit growing up. To and Fro was my jam. Like, I love Merlin on Netflix. If you grew up liking Xena or Hercules, or you're just really into campy fantasy sci-fi, check out Merlin. Merlin is, I just love it so much. Like, production value is shit. The acting is just okay. But overall, if you're like into King Arthur and the story, and basically it is, I think, based on Smallville. Like, they did it like Smallville, but for Merlin. So if you're into Smallville and all the other stuff, check out Merlin on Netflix. But that is not why we are here. We are here to talk about The Kid Who Would Be King. So this movie is about a kid named Alex, who is played by Louis Serkis, who is Andy Serkis' son. Played very well, by the way. I mean, he hit some teary-eyed moments. I was like, dang, he's got me tearing up. He was so good. And so his name's Alex, and Alex is bullied at school. He doesn't really have a relationship with his father. He lives at home, single mom. Him and his friend are just losers, basically. And they get picked on by these older kids at school, and they really just live kind of a tough life. One day, he's running away from his bullies, one of them being, what is his name? His name is Lance, of course, Sir Lancelot. And he just happens to run across this sword that's in this stone, and he pulls it out, and he's like, this is really strange, but this is awesome, and he brings the sword home, and after that, all of these magical, wonderful things happen. Merlin comes to school dressed as a teenager, but really he's Patrick Stewart, a much older man. And then we get Rebecca Ferguson, who plays Morgana, and it's kind of the same role of Morgana where she feels like she is the rightful heir to the throne and should have Excalibur as her own. And so yeah, I mean, right now in 2019, they're kind of playing on the fact that we don't have like a unified leader. We have kind of in 2019, you know, a lot of political turmoil. We have a lot of not so great things going on. I'm not going to get political or anything, but and so Morgana can tell, like, shit's going down right now on Earth. Things are really bad, and she's feeding off of all the negative energy. And it's up to Alex, who is 12 years old, to bring all these kids together to remind people that there's hope in the world. And that's basically our story. Their quest to fight off Morgana and to have Excalibur and to complete a modern round table of children. And, you know, honestly, this movie reminded me of being like 10, 12 years old and how I felt about seeing some of the movies that I loved growing up, like The Goonies or Harry Potter. I'm not saying it's that well done. Of course, it doesn't have that level of budget. I think the budget was just south of $60 million. And but overall, just the vibe of the movie, and all of the kids in my theater just adored it. You know, they gasped at the right moments. They laughed. I mean, they just loved it. And it just reminded me of being a kid again. I would say the one thing I didn't really love, the CGI was fine for me. Again, if I can put up with Merlin, then like CGI is not a big deal. You know, it's low budget, but I felt like between Act 2 and 3, I felt like the movie had kind of had a conclusion, and then it kept going, which was nice, but I thought it was a little long in the tooth. It could have used a little bit of editing to bring the overall running time down. I think it plays a little bit over 2 hours, which for me is a bit too long. Even though I enjoyed it very much, there's some points that maybe adults might be a little bit bored or kids might be a little bit bored. But only because some scenes I think could have been cut down, but it's not like the magic wasn't there. I still left the theater highly happy, and it wasn't predictable, and I just really had fun with this, and I think that you guys should check it out. I'm not saying you should run to the theater, but if it's ever on Netflix or you have a chance to rent it, I definitely recommend it, especially if you have children. It is so appropriate, it's fun, and you learn a lot of lessons about overcoming adversaries and coming together as a unit, and not being afraid to step up for your friends and step up to bullies and find a way to find common ground. And it's very sweet in that way. So yep, those are my thoughts on A Kid Who Would Be King. And guys, be sure to subscribe if you have not yet, and tell me your comments down below. And I love you guys, and have a fantastic day. Bye. Magic trick.